list to how we do our save the dates to how we do our invitations. And so this is actually just something that I decided to do because I wanted to show everyone what kind of buildings we've done, what kind of work we've done. And so this is just a general invitation of how, or save the date, of different buildings that we've done. This is the Quintel's building that Greg was talking about. And when I was doing this, I wanted to put as many pictures as I could, but I didn't want it to confuse everyone, so I had to make sure I measured every single picture to be exactly the same. And if I were to go to every single picture, you'll notice that each of their sizes are the same. For instance, these two columns are exactly the same, so when I was making the pictures and sizing them down, I had to make sure they were exactly 2 by 1.5. So that's a fun part of my job. And this is the second page to it on the back that we're passing around.
Hey, do you have a Quintel Plaza
Picture?
Yeah.
This one right here. You see that?
Can you put
Yeah,
it
I will actually also, or a real one. Does anyone recognize this building? Yeah.
It's got a lot of great angles.
Yeah.
It's, it's got a patio up here on the top, and we had really fun with the angles. And there's some other good pictures of this building showing, how we made this into a lantern. And it lights up well at night. The client actually doesn't like us lighting it up because this sends the wrong message to the employees. But when we designed it to light up, and it's very pretty when it does. So this technically can stay on at light at night, and you can see that it doesn't just look like a box. There's a lot of things that break up the building and the design. There's a patio down here with a fountain. Again, there's a patio. There's up here a executive level patio as well, and all kinds of other neat angles and features to this building. And again, it's LEED certified as well. So I just think we had a really fun time working with the design team on designing this building, this site. It's designed also to put a hotel beside it, which we're working with Weston to go beside it. Hopefully that will come to be in the next couple of years.
You'll also notice right down here I have a picture of it, how I turned it from a 3D picture of the actual building to a 2D logo. And again, when I'm drawing this, I have to make sure that all my lines are exactly the same, and I measure it out in my program, so this line is probably the same as this line, and it all comes to a point, as you know, right there. So whenever you take a picture of a building, you want to take it at the most appealing angle so that when you turn it into these kind of things, they look very artistic and set you apart from everyone else. Yes?
Do you actually have to draw that, or is there a software that?
There's the software I use is called Quark, and I also use Illustrator and Photoshop, and so yes, you actually draw the lines out, and that's where you have to know all your angles, you have to know exactly where your lines want to be. So yes, you do it by hand completely, and this one took me probably 3 days just because I had to make sure all the lines were exact, and I have to be on top of my game and make sure that all the lines look correctly and are angled correctly. So there are several different programs out there that you can use. They come out with new ones every day, but I specifically just like using Quark. Any other questions?
There's when I was in school and going through this pre-geometry and geometry, I didn't really see the application of why, how that could relate to me. So, if Annie and I are sharing anything with you today, we're trying to give you a touch on how these really do relate to life and careers, and it's really fun. So, what you're learning, hopefully it gets you a little more interested, because, you can see what she's doing on her day-to-day work and how that relates to her work, and then definitely relates to me and everything that I do. And I touched on the architects and the design people, if that interests any of you later. NC State has a phenomenal design school over there, and they have fun building buildings, doing all kinds of things. There's engineers that get on the site and figure out, and land planners that figure out how to do that. There's other people that work with on the public side that take all these plans and things and analyze them to make sure that certain municipalities like Cary or somewhere should approve them, or Raleigh. And there's just so many places you can go with all these angles and shapes and measurements that you're dealing with, but they really are important. And whether you buy your own house later and you want to know how many square feet it is, or you want to measure it, or understand it, and you know, there's so many ways you can go. And then of course, on the technology side, you know, there's so many ways that people are dealing with that today, and there's all kinds of applications. So, does anybody have any questions?